Hey everybody, welcome to Tradement. Great to have you on board. Just thought I'd get in here, look at the futures here. They dropped about 7 points. And yeah, some from reports I was looking over, trying to see what was going on, and that was the thing that popped up uh, with saying that with the jobless claims, it was a great number. It's a weekly number, but it was a good number, and so it elevated fears that they might increase tapering sooner. We'll see. I'm interested to see how this day turns out. Because the last couple days have been by the dips. We'll see if this day turns out and see if that happens to be the same type of situation today. Let me show you something, what I like to do on these days. And you've seen me do this before. Whenever I see the market start to sell or even go up big, I like to look at this market carpet or the heat sensor, they call it, whatever you want to call it, just to see what's going on out there, see where the selling is. You notice basic materials. There's a lot of red in here. Tech stocks are getting hit, with the exception of a Hewlett Packard, but a lot of tech getting hit today. Financials, not as much, not as much. The color schemes down here below, so some slightly positive. Now, JP Morgan a little while ago was one of the few in here that was in the red. They've got their own issues going on, so it's not necessarily a reflection of the area, but not a lot in financials. Utilities, yeah, it's kind of one of the boring areas of the market. Just not a lot going on there. Everything just fairly flat there. Consumer goods, a little bit of action there, but really, for the market being down like it is, there's not that much red. If it keeps going, we'll start to see more in here. But initially, like a Boeing over here, industrial goods, you notice that space, not a lot of red in there, and that's a positive for the market. I saw in chat a little while ago. I wanted to get on and explain this. It took me a little while, but I wanted to get explained. Someone's asking why is Boeing up when the market's pulling back. That's a positive. Whenever you see the market pulling back, decent. I mean, it's not huge at this point, but whenever you see it pulling back a little bit, and your stock or stocks that you own aren't really going with it, that's a positive. The market comes back up this afternoon. You'll see these things run uh, probably a little bit better than what the market's going to do if we get that. Now, we got the jobs number out in the morning. Typically, the day before a jobs number is fairly flat, but we're seeing some action today on a little bit of a sell. So if we look here, one of the stocks I've been watching is WellPoint Financial. This was a runner up yesterday, and I told you I was cherry picking. It rallied into the close a little bit, made a little bit better signal than when I first was putting my top three together. But today, now this reversal, it looks like a major reversal. It looks like it gapped down here below 91 and ran higher. It didn't. If you look at a chart of this, it's just like a fat finger trade. It's just a one candle event right here, one gap down, but really it opened up here, towards the highs around 92.82. So it's not as big as a reversal as it looks like, but it's a positive. If this thing runs up over 92, it'd still be a decent looking signal. But watch that throughout the day. It's still pretty early for these things. Our positions, again, Boeing's it's holding up. It's up 58 cents. Look at Morgan Stanley. This one has pulled back a little bit, down 15 cents. We'll watch this. This is still early. A lot of talk in the room about Yahoo initially. It has pulled back. It's off the lows. Just and it's easy. It's human nature to look at a trade that we're in, seeing it move up or down initially during the day, and it can get nerve wracking. But watch how it closes. If this closed down below the 7 and that was the stop, then it's time to get out. All right, take it and move on. But watch it throughout the day and see if it can't reverse and go up. And it's off the bottoms, but still, we're a couple hours into the day. We're gonna watch. We'll watch it and see where it goes. That's not one of our positions. It's a top three, and I know uh, a lot of you are in that trade. And then the last one of our positions look at is Qualcomm. Yeah, it's pulled back a little bit, still up 17 cents, but we'll watch these and see where these things end up near the close today. Tesoro, another stock I've been watching. It's in the group that's doing okay in the market. It's off the high here, but and it's early. But a positive for this, and it's got this channel right here. Positive for it. We see to close back up here towards above 58, 58 and a half, something like that. But see if it can't break out of that channel that it's got itself into, which would, on a break of that channel, it could cause this thing to jump quite a bit. Autodesk, yeah, it's pulled back a little bit with the market overall. You can expect these moves. I wouldn't get nervous about it unless it closed. Now, of course, I can't argue taking gains. If you got a decent gain in this, it did gap pretty good this morning. I could never argue, but right now it's still got a long ways to go in the day. And then Las Vegas Sands. And this was a little bit weak, but still, I mean, it gapped up slightly. This move, even if it closed right here, it's a positive for this. It gapped up slightly, has run down just slightly. Technically, this is still very bullish for that kind of a breakout that we saw yesterday on volume. So nothing. Hang on just a sec. I'm just checking video here. Saw that it went out on somebody out there. Yeah, it looks like we still got video, so yeah, probably you only. Nice SPM. Just checking in on that. All right. Legend. Ligand. Nice breakout yesterday. It was a bull vibe signal, and it's got some follow through today. Now watch. It had to watch the 58 level. I don't know if anybody's in this, but the 58 level, it had some volume. There's a chance it might break it, but that's, to me, would have to prove to me that's going to break it. Just right there. CLF. Yeah, the floor dropping out under down 4%. Have to look into that and see if there's anything going on with just them or what it might have been. I'll have to look into that for you. We could just go out and go out here, FinViz, and we can take a look. See if there's anything here on FinViz. Not seeing anything here. Verizon, yeah, there was quite a bit. Verizon here. What was it? I had to look through these, but Verizon, look at a chart on them. Down pretty good too. They're down about just under 2%, 1.75%, and I have to look into that. There's been a war out there between T-Mobile. They're down, not AT&T, and then also Sprint. Now Sprint got downgraded to a hold this morning, but that's not cause for the other ones to go down. But these have all been a pretty volatile area of the market. T-Mobile's been holding up more than the others, but the Verizons, AT&Ts, uh, it's been pretty volatile, and the Sprints. Okay. U.S. Steel. So this is the one that we talked about looking for, see if it can't break up through that 30 level. Well, today it's breaking down below it. A close right here would be pretty bearish. I wouldn't be overly bearish enough to go buy a put on it yet. The past resistance down here at 28, it had to break below that and probably the 50-day moving average, do some consolidation back to the 7. But yeah, that's why I like to be patient and try to wait for that to show me which way that's going to go. Netflix. Yeah, good question here. Is it going to bounce? It's the question. What you got to do is right now it's just kind of consolidating. Got a long ways away from the 7. A little bit of an update yesterday, a little bit down today. Let that 7 catch up with it. You get a push up through the 7, it would be somewhat bullish. I'd like to see what it looks like when that happens. If it can hold this level, I don't know what it is, about 335. It's been at for like 3 days now. It might get a shot at that. But if the 7 catches up with it and it starts breaking down below the lows here we've seen for the last few days, more bearish nature, they're likely to run down further. 330 is just underneath it. Is that a bigger level? Let's draw that out. It's fairly decent. Hits it here, kind of all through this range. It's a decent level for it, so there's a little bit of support at 330. But right now, it's just tough to say. It's gotta hold that level and consolidate, get that 7 closer to it, and I'd like to see to get bullish on it. That's what I'd like to see. Delphi Automotive. Yeah, it's a pullback today. It's pulling back, kind of like the market right in here. Watch it at 60. If the stop's on the 7, well, the 7's up there at 60 now. If it breaks below that today, then it's time to exit. If it holds 60 and holds the 7, if it reverses today and goes back up, it's so early in the day. If it reverses and starts to head back up, it's a positive for it too. But right now, it's coming back, retesting the 7 as well as, probably more importantly, the $60 level. And usually when stocks break through those bigger levels, they'll come back and retest them. That's what it's doing right now. But if it got through that today and through the 7, it's time to exit. But if it can hold it, then hopefully you can get a bounce higher off of that. Okay, but watch it towards the close and see where it's sitting then. Some of the top 3 yesterday, Las Vegas Sands, again, same thing. It's right up there. It's technically there's nothing to react to there. And then ADSK up 76 cents. Just watch it and see where this thing's going to close today. All right. Go back to the market. It's taking its time getting there. Come on, stock charts. There we go. Down 4.5. A positive close where this thing to turn and close back up here towards the, over 1840. But we'll see where this day takes us with this market ahead of the jobs number. And usually it's pretty flat, but maybe that good jobless claims. That was kind of a delayed action. So I don't know if I buy it, because the jobless claims came out a long time ago, and all of a sudden the market thinks about it well after the open and then starts to drop. I don't know. That's why I'm interested to see the close. Whenever they sell like this, the buy the dipper is going to step in at some point. Okay. Well, I just wanted to get on with you. I want to do that. I just wanted to get on with you and just look over the little market carpet here at FinViz, just to look at those areas of the market that were dropping, and just try to make some sense of the sell and see where it's mainly affecting. And you can see it's changed a little bit. There's not as much red. Again, the tech seems to be the heaviest hit out of all the groups as far as percentage wise of the stocks within it that are getting hit. Now, a little bit here in basic materials, some in services, but not that much. Some of the bigger names, like Target, they had that big hack around Christmas, and you think the stock would have dropped. It didn't really, and in fact, it held up its own. And there's been reports out since, saying that the people that got hacked are paying the price now. But overall, it's really held its own, which is a pretty big positive for a stock like that. So yeah, so let's watch the market and see where this thing's going to take us by the end of the day. DE. All right, this had that incredible run. Well, we're seeing some profit taking here, so we got to see where this thing, to go bullish on it, we got to see where it's going to hold some support. Find a level of support somewhere, and then see what it looks like at that point. Now, if it comes down to 88, great. If it holds 89, what we got to look for is wherever it starts to hold some support, and then look for a move back up over that 7, and see what it looks like at the time. of that. That huge run right there, this is likely just some profit taking that's come in. You look at a Caterpillar, yeah, they're holding up a little bit better, and the reason is because of that run in DE. That's why they're getting hit. DE back to 86. Yeah, I mean it could. It's got some levels to get through. There's not a really big level there. There's a little at 88 and 80, 80, well, not much at 87, but it could come to 86. It might take a little while to do that, but it could make it. That's some pretty good news. So yeah, it could, but I just want to see this where this is going to start to find some support and hold it for a few days, 3 4 days, and then look to run higher. The other one here, Joy Global. Yeah, I mean DE is just taking some big profit taking. I have to look and see if there's any news on it as to why, but that's what I would think is just some profit taking after that huge run. And that now, so maybe the company stopped buying the shares. They added that $8 billion to as a repurchase program to an already existing repurchase program. So maybe they just bought it and then some of the selling going on for the people that wrote it. Okay, thanks, Deb. All right, I'll be on chat with you. If you have any questions, comments, you can reach me there. I just wanted to get on and share that with you real quick. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.